Hello there, class. This is our fifth session. I can't even believe that, but I'm going to go ahead and go right to our PowerPoint. So let me turn that off and let me share my screen. There we go. All right, so I'm going to open this up and go from the first slide, and here we are. Okay, well, this class is definitely flying by. This week, your reading looks at a staff life cycle. In the PowerPoint, we will look at leadership styles and PERMA, which is a term used with the strength survey that you will be taking. So what kind of leader are you? Well, we're about to find out. Chapter 5, as I said, contains a table called the Adult Life Cycle and Implications for Staff Development. It provides information on how to work with adults at all different ages. Where is this person you are supervising in this table? Where are they at in their adult life? It is so important to reflect on that as you work with other adults. We tend to lead from where we are in our own development, and that can be unfair to those that we supervise. The chart uses information from the theories of Erickson, Aron, and Krupp, and others. It is a guideline to help you understand others that you work with now and that you may work with in the future. Think of this chapter as a tool. A tool like this can come in handy as you supervise or as you transition to a supervisory position. How might a tool like this be used when you are in a conflict situation or when you are wanting to support others to reach their best potential? Think of Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. We learned that, most of you, a long time ago in your child development classes. Knowing where a child is, you can help support them to a new level. Well, knowing where your adults that you're working with are, that goes a long way in helping them and helping you scaffold them to their next level. Just as we work with children and we scaffold them through their zone of proximal development, you can do the same with adults. As a supervisor, you have an adopted style of leadership. It may change depending on the situation you find yourself in, but you will usually have a style that is your preferred way of working with others. If you are not yet in a supervisory role, think of friends or family members that may lead or that you may lead, so to speak, on different occasions. It is important to know that your style of leadership is because you will want to take that into account before you take any disciplinary action or write an evaluation of someone you are working with. The choice you make is how to do that. Which leadership style you choose to give that evaluation will set the tone for your work with that person moving forward. I'm going to pause for a little bit in this PowerPoint, and we're going to watch a short video on different leadership styles. So hold on just a second. We're going to stop the sharing for a second so that we can go back in and share where to go. This instead. Okay, we've got that now showing. Let me make this wider, even bigger. There we go. It says I am sharing, so I do test these before I put them up, and I will see if indeed there's any problems with this video, but it should be fine. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Madsen. Welcome to this whiteboard session, What is Your Leadership Style? Today, I will share 6 different leadership styles with you, as written about by Daniel Goleman. The first style is the authoritative leader. The authoritative leader is really good at setting the vision and painting an appealing picture of where we're going. The authoritative leader will not tell you how to get there, but will be inspiring you to follow. So he or she will say, come with me, look at where we're going. The next style is the coaching style. When we coach someone, we don't tell them what to do, but we help people to find their own answers. A coaching style is really good to help the individual to unlock their potential. Some of the questions that we may ask in a coaching style is, well, what are you trying to achieve? How might you get there? What are the first steps you need to take? The third style is the democratic style. We probably all understand what the word democratic means. It means that we share the problem space. And in that sense, a democratic leader will almost take a step back and denounce their leadership role. They will ask people what they feel is the right thing to do. But it has been proven that decision-making by consensus is not the most effective way of finding a good decision. So bear that in mind. The fourth style is the affiliative style. This style is all about harmony. It's a very heart-based style. People come first. You might say, well, when is that ever a good idea? But actually, if you're working with a team that feels a bit unsettled, maybe because 2 organizations have merged or something else happened, in that case, people may not be ready to focus on the job because they're too much in their emotional part of the brain. In that case, the affiliative style can be really effective. The fifth style is the pace-setting style. As a pace setter, I set the standard. I roll up my sleeves and I show how the job is to be done. So I'm not afraid of getting in there and really working with my team to show them how it must be done. In the long run, that can be quite an exhausting style because I'm here as a leader, I do it, and I expect you to follow. And it doesn't leave a lot of room. It doesn't leave a lot of room for the individual to actually fill in the blanks. The last style is the commanding style. This is the old-fashioned command and control management style where it is my way or no way. You do as I tell you. This style, as you can probably imagine, is not very effective in the long run because it doesn't leave a lot of room for the individual to perform well, and it's not very empowering. But there is a time and a place where it is appropriate. For instance, in a crisis situation, when the building is burning, I give you direction to get out. But we shouldn't abuse this style because we think there is always a crisis going on. So my question to you now is, which of these 6 styles do you tend to use most of the time? There is a time and a place for each of them, and it's good to mix them up. But it has been proven that the authoritative style and the coaching style are the most effective in the long run. The authoritative style, you set the vision, you inspire people to follow, and the coaching style, you help them to find the answers for themselves and to reach that vision. Thank you for watching. Please visit us again at projectmanager.com.
Okay, so let me get out of the sharing. We're going to go back to our PowerPoint. And let's see, I think we're right here. Okay, so that was Susan Matson and an introduction to her opinion, actually, based on a gentleman named Daniel Goleman about the types of leadership styles. I hope that as you watched that, you could think about your own experience. What kind of leaders have you worked for before? How did their leadership style support you? Might you relate differently to that leadership style at different periods in your own adult development? Think about what kind of leader you want to be for others. So as we move on, I want to tell you also, I'll throw in that I have an article in your module that is based on 10 styles of leadership. So I want to remind you that when you're hearing things like this, it does come from people's perspective. That's why, for example, if you talk about children's domains, in some books that you read, there will be 3 domains mentioned. In another book, there might be 4. If you read the California Learning Foundations, they use the word domain like it's water falling all over the place. There's many different domains mentioned. So the same with anything that people are trying to understand and break down into types. Um, we use our creativity and there are different opinions. But I really like this video and I hope she made that clear for you. I'll be interested to see um, what you think after you read also the article that I have put into the module. Okay, so we all have different strengths and weaknesses, and I want to talk about that. It is important that you know what your strengths are and that you value the strengths in others that may not be your strong suit, but is recognizable in other people. Utilizing your own strengths will add to your overall PERMA. So PERMA stands for more positive emotion, more engagement, better relationships, more meaning, and more accomplishments. Now, doesn't that sound like something you want to have while you're working? And the people you're working with, they want that too. Now, I'm going to introduce you to another reflective survey that you folks are going to be taking. And this term PERMA is used wildly with these folks. They use that term definitely. It's called the VIA Character Strength Survey. I don't know if any of you have ever taken this, but I did, and I really, really enjoyed it. Let's see if we can, whoop, no, that's gonna play. Okay, I won't go into it. Anyway, this particular survey has several different types of strengths. You're gonna take a little survey. It takes about 15 minutes. It is from an academic group. It's a very safe website. They don't ask you many personal questions. They ask you your last name, your first name, and an email because they're going to send you a report based on what you did in the survey. So the VIA Institute created a survey to help you understand your own character strengths. I always thought that being grateful was my strong suit. And when I took this, I was really surprised at what ranked at the top for me. Because even though I think of myself as somebody who is grateful, that ranked at number 3. Ranking at the top in my scores was appreciation of beauty. And when I reflect on it later, it all made sense because I could see that most of the time what I am grateful for is what is beautiful in my life and in the world. I appreciate the beautiful California scenery as I drive around. I appreciate beautiful music that I get to listen to on my radio. And I appreciate the beautiful smile on my husband's face, and so it goes. So although I am a grateful person, recognizing the beautiful in what's all around me is really my top strength. Now, you might be surprised about what your findings come out with. I look forward to reading your discussion posts on this. Next up, I have placed URLs to 2, well, I took them out. They're CompSat, which you visited early on, has a lot of different videos, and you are going to be looking at them during this week. So what I'm going to want you to do, I've given you directions to go and find these particular videos. Like I said, there are 3 of them. You're going to go back to the CompSat site. You're going to scroll down to the bottom. You're going to look for one of the 12 competencies called Leadership in Early Childhood Education. And if you put your cursor right over the word leadership in early childhood education and click on it, It will open up that field for you, and you will see the 3 videos I want you to watch right at the top. So there is one called Leadership in Early Childhood Education. There's one called Compassion, Critical Thinking, and Courage. And I don't have the other one right here for me to look at, but trust me, there are 3. I find them informative, and I believe that you will as well. And then you're going to be writing a discussion board on that. So the discussion boards will be on leadership style, on the VIA Institute and your work there, and then on the CompSat videos. So as I said, here is a review of what you're going to be doing. The leadership styles is the main PowerPoint for you. That is the one that's worth 10 points. You're going to take that strength survey and then have a discussion board on that strength session. Now, down at the bottom here in number 4, under 3 discussion boards at C, it says leadership reflection from concept videos. It says that's the one that's 10 points. I just changed that, and I see I did not change that in the PowerPoint, but I don't want you to get confused by that. The 10-pointer is the leadership style one. The strength survey is worth 5, and the CompSat videos is worth 5. And the leadership style is the one where you will have to respond to 3 other people. Okay, now you're going to read chapter 5, and you're going to write your part of your share summary. You don't have to merge them together and turn them in, because that's in week 6. You don't have one of those due this week, I believe. So just get ready and prepared, but we'll save that for the upcoming week. And then you're going to start to connect with your small group. Now in your module, I have placed your small group. And before I get into that, let me say that I updated your pair summaries because that got messed up. Several people left. We had one person that was double booked on somebody. So it's all fixed. We do have one person who is still by themselves, but she will not be by herself in the small group activity. So if you open up the small group listing, you can see who's going to be in your group. The instructions for this activity are not part of this week. I don't even want you to think about that yet. What I want you to do is to talk to one another. Find out who is in your group, connect with them, talk this week. When you get to the end, when you get to Sunday of this upcoming week, what I want is for you to have met together once and talked about things like, should we meet through Zoom? Should we meet through Google Meet? What's the best day and time for us all to get together? I want that all laid out before you get the instructions for the actual activity. So find out whatever works for the majority. If you've got somebody who just can't make the best time for everybody, maybe I need to move them to another group that could better meet their needs, or you will have to take notes and pass them on to that person. So I'm open to discuss that with you in your group after your meet and find out how it's working for you. You could decide that you just want to email each other, and then there's no time connected to it at all. Whichever way you choose as a group, I am fine with it. So it doesn't matter how you get together, but I do want you to make your introductions this week. All right, so we're getting to the end here. It's if you have any trouble understanding me as I talk through these PowerPoints, please print out the scripts, which are always in the modules just underneath the PowerPoint. I try my best to stick to the script. Sometimes I go off, but the main information that you would need is always part of the script. And it should help you, but if I am unclear and you feel like you want to reach out to me, please don't be hesitant to do that. I have talked to several of your classmates. You have my home phone number. I can talk to you. I'm usually available during the day, and even into the evening up until as late as 10 o'clock. So I'm not going to repeat my information, my phone number here, because you already have it. But for some reason, if I don't answer the phone, leave me a message and I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing that. I'm going to open that and say goodbye. And I hope you all have a great week and have fun learning more about yourselves with this VIA Character Strengths survey. I know that I really enjoyed it when I did it. So, okay, thank you and goodbye.